I want to show you something that doesn't make sense on paper. Car companies have spent billions of dollars building the most advanced electric vehicles ever made. Longer range, faster charging, software that gets smarter over time. And buyers are saying no. Not no to electric altogether, not no to efficiency, but a very quiet, very deliberate no to the car that was supposed to win. In 2026, hybrid sales are rising faster than almost anyone predicted. And the people choosing them are not technophobes. They're not afraid of new things. Many of them already owned an EV. So the question isn't why hybrids exist. The question is, what did these people experience that changed their minds? That's what this video is about. And I promise you, by the end of it, you'll understand something about the car market in 2026 that most people completely miss. Let's go. Let's go back a few years. Because to understand what's happening now, you need to remember what was promised. Electric vehicles were going to change everything. No oil changes, no timing belts, no exhaust systems. Fewer moving parts meant fewer things to break. The maintenance was supposed to be almost nothing. And look, EVs did deliver on some of that. The acceleration is genuinely incredible. The interior tech is impressive. The driving experience is smooth. But here's where the promise started to crack. Because a modern EV is not just a car with a battery instead of an engine. It is a rolling software platform. A computer with wheels. And that changes everything about what can go wrong. Start with charging. On paper, charging looks simple. Pull up, plug in, wait, drive. But real EV owners will tell you a different story. Public chargers that fail to initiate. Sessions that stop unexpectedly at 40%. Charging speeds that are half of what the station advertised. When this happens once, it's an inconvenience. When it happens on a long trip, 200 miles from home, it becomes something else entirely. Then there's the battery in cold weather. EV batteries are highly sensitive to temperature. A car rated for 300 miles in ideal conditions can realistically deliver 190 miles on a cold winter morning. That's not a malfunction, that's just physics. But it's also not what the sticker said. And it changes how you have to think about every single trip. And then, the software. This is the part that surprises most people. Screens that freeze mid-drive, dashboards that reboot without warning, driver assistance systems that disengage randomly on the highway. And in some documented cases, cars that restart their entire system while moving. Even if the reboot lasts 3 seconds, 3 seconds at 70 miles per hour is not nothing. Now, none of this means every EV does this every day. But it happens often enough that it became a pattern that owners started talking about quietly, in forums, in comments, in conversations. And once you notice the pattern, you can't unnotice it. There's a question buyers are now asking that they weren't asking 3 years ago. It's not, what can this car do? But what happens when something goes wrong? And that one shift in thinking explains almost everything about where the market is moving. Because hybrids don't ask you to choose between old and new. They combine both. A combustion engine that has been refined for decades and an electric motor that handles efficiency at low speeds. 2 systems, 2 redundancies, 1 simple principle. When one struggles, the other covers it. No dependency on public charging networks. No range calculations every morning in winter. No software update that accidentally changes how your accelerator responds. You pull up to any fuel station anywhere in the world, and you're fine. And hybrid technology isn't new either. It's been in production since the late 1990s. Oh, that means 25 plus years of real-world refinement, 25 years of mechanics learning how to fix it, 25 years of engineers smoothing out the edge cases. That kind of maturity is invisible until you need it. Here's something that surprises people. Some of the brands struggling most with EV reliability are brands that were considered highly reliable in the combustion era. Because building a great combustion car for 30 years does not automatically mean your first EV platform will be great. New battery architectures take time to prove themselves in the field. New software stacks have early bugs that don't show up in testing. New supply chains create new vulnerabilities in parts and repairs. And when something goes wrong with an EV, the repair timeline is often longer than with a traditional car. Specialized technicians, specific diagnostic tools, parts that are still low in supply. A 2-week wait for a repair is a very different ownership experience than a 2-day one. And for a lot of buyers, that is the moment the relationship breaks. Not a dramatic failure, just a long, frustrating wait. Next time, I want something I can rely on. So let's be clear about what this shift actually means. This is not a rejection of electric vehicles. EVs are still improving. Battery technology is advancing fast. Charging infrastructure is expanding every year. And in 10 years, this conversation might look completely different. But 2026 is not 10 years from now. 2026 is a transition phase. And transition phases always have a gap. Well, a gap between what the technology promises and what it actually delivers on a Tuesday morning when you just need to get to work. What we're seeing right now isn't buyers going backwards, it's buyers making a very rational choice based on what they've actually lived through. They tried the future, and the future was good, mostly, but it wasn't quite ready to be depended on completely every single day. So they chose something that was. EVs will get there, that day is coming. But in 2026, in the real world, dependability still beats innovation. And that's not a failure of progress. That's just how progress actually works. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the real stories behind the automotive industry. Because what's happening in cars right now is only the beginning. Like the video, if you want a part 2 where I break down which EV brands are actually losing buyers the fastest in 2026.